That's what it's all about, guys. That's why I'm so honored to be doing this charity stream. That's why I fought so hard to get back on, even after the internet kicked me off. This is huge. As Dr. Drunk is showing in chat there, you guys get an idea of why these schools are this program is so important. You know, these schools are some of the best in the nation that these kids are getting into, and if it wasn't for urban arts, they might not have these opportunities to go to these schools. They might not have these opportunities for such a rich future. And that's what's so exciting. So, guys, seriously, if you've got the ability, even a couple bucks as you saw M Captain donate, please consider donating. It's such a great cause. Coffee or dogs? Why not both? Says Taylor. Why not both indeed? Puddin is here. Hello, Puddin. And Drunk says, these kids make me feel unaccomplished. They make me feel unaccomplished too, dude, and I'm a freaking teacher. You know? This is a Lighthouse Henri. Well, I'm honestly, this is the way for this at this point. Dr. Drunk, you've got a doctorate?
I'm gonna throw up.
Oh my god! Oh my... Oh my god. We're over $1,000, ladies and gentlemen. We're over a freaking $1,000! Dr. Drunk says, Zath, have another drink. They need it more than you do. Hey, dude. I'm right there with you, Drunk. Oh my god. My wife not be too happy. Bears are down by 10 points. That's not too bad for them, actually. They're usually down by more. Oh my god, Dr. Drunk. Kitten, you got more work to do.
I'm already working. I just pulled Chris out for a CC code.
Chris, congratulations, dude. He is getting colonized. Yeah, that Goliath just chewing up the Henri.
Next one is for sub camo.
This is Rolkatsuki. I should ping him on Discord. I apologize, I didn't do that
Dr.
earlier.
Drunk. Next CC code goes to Snow Mongoose, and the next sub camo goes to Sin and Style.
Oh, really? Nice. Dr. Drunk won the giveaway. That's awesome. Where's my loot? Sin in Style. Hey, Sin.
Make sure y'all send me a private message, guys, because I got a lot of people to deal with.
Hey. Now, this is... So, generally speaking, if you're going to go Lighthouse Henri, you have to be pretty far in the backfield. And I think Rolkatsuki learned that lesson the hard way early on. So let's see what he can do now, moving forward.
Leatherneck 1971 is now following.
Leatherneck, thank you for the follow. Good to see you. I hope you're enjoying the stream. Alright, I hope you guys don't mind, but I think we need to prioritize the replay from Dr. Drunk. Would you guys agree?
Totally agree.
He deserves at least that much. It isn't a Petropavlovsk, though, but, you know, hey, whatever.
Oh, hail the mighty hammer.
Just have fun. Drunk, we're having a good time, dude. We're having a good time. It's Sunday evening. We're all having a good time. And after this game, I think it's time to go finish up that Oban, huh? Mm-hmm. Let's do it. Let's do it. Redefining the language is powerful. Yes. I'm gonna replace loot with equity. Where's my equity? Oh my god. That's kind of ironic considering the you know, considering the Urban Arts Partnership charity stream that we're doing, you know? Like, oh, and I see a flex there from Bunny Zulu. Bunny Zulu with the flex. Can I bully Puddin' now? This is good. I like the selection of the Riga because, as you can see, he's just kind of going bow in. He's not very, you know, he's not really maneuvering much. You can farm him. The other one you could farm is the Thunderer. Because he probably feels okay with being shot at for a bit. You know, if he gets on fire, he doesn't care. He's got a boosted repair party. So if I'm trying to farm ships, I'm gonna go for something like this. You do anyway? There you go. Ain't nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong with that at all. Thunderer's on fire! Look at the Goliath. Look at that Goliath. Now, coming in, he wants you down. You are now pretty much gonna hold this flank. Good luck with that. Act like you had your mind in the first place. That's funny, Dr.
That's true. That's true.
Oh my god. Oh my goodness. The Montana is firing HE at you. So that is happening. Slow down. Slow down because the Goliath is already changing course and you want to keep these guys focused on you as much as possible. That being said, you do have Lexington torpedo bombers coming in, which you don't really care about too much, I suppose. Especially with the Montana firing HE at you. Look at you casually dodging those torp bombers. Hard turn the other way now. Good, good. Thunder is trying to shoot you. Yeah, that carrier is really working hard to drop you. Now he's a Lexington bottom tier carrier, and he doesn't seem to be that tight with his drops, so you can definitely take advantage of this. My baby shot me down TR. Interesting name. My God, guys, I'm so pumped. We passed 1,000. Dr. Drunk, thank you again for all your donations, man. We're changing lives, guys. We're changing lives. We really are. I mean, $1,000. What does that buy kids? Like, that buys kids a laptop. That buys kids access to the Adobe suite. I mean, you know, like, at least 3 pencils, says Snow Mongoose. I mean, seriously, it buys them stuff to do well in school, right? It buys them the tools that they need to succeed, and that's just... I was talking about it earlier, before the internet outage happened, but for those of you guys who are not in the United States, the way that schools are funded in the United States is it's based off of property values. Because your property taxes is a big source of funding. But then, of course, there's state aid as well. And then in some cases, like cities like Chicago and New York, is additional funding from the city itself. But for the most part, it comes down to property taxes. So if you're living in an area where property values aren't that high, like low-income households, your school doesn't have stuff. I mean, there's schools in Chicago that don't even have air conditioning, guys. what? You know what I mean? Like, they literally don't start until after Labor Day, and part of that is because of the fact that they don't have air conditioning, so they need to wait until it's cooler out to start school. So I mean, like, you know, this is important. This is really this is life-changing what you guys are doing right here, and what UAP is all about. So that's why I've been talking a lot about this, guys. I truly believe in this, and I hope you guys see this. By the way, Rolkatsuki, now realizing he's quite low on hit points, so he's going to have to hide behind islands and farm. He's going to depend on his team to spot for him, and it looks like it's going to happen for a little bit. That is insane and guaranteed to perpetuate unequal income. Panavius, that's the whole point that I'm trying to get behind here, is that you're right, there's this income gap. There's this gap between opportunities. I'm very fortunate. I live in a middle income area, neighborhood, whatever. So my school doesn't have to decide between laptops and paying good teachers. They can do both, quite frankly. Yeah, you'll take that torp, whatever. But I mean, you know, there's others like that do have to decide on that, and that's hard. That's really hard, you know? Dr. Drunk says, my buddy works for a technical school. He's seen inner city kids from Patterson go from selling weed on the street corner to getting into the Culinary Institute of America to Columbia to owning multiple businesses of their own. Goes to show when kids get the chance to do what they love and what speaks to them, they can do anything. And you're absolutely correct. It is amazing to see. It is absolutely amazing to see. Well, Random Guy Pie, that might be true, but, you know, let's do something about it, guys, you know? Like, I don't know. To me, like, when I saw this, I'm just like, sign me up. Let me help. Let me see what we can do to help urban arts, you know?
Excuse me.
You're excused.
Thank you.
Dr. Drunk's in Pennsylvania. Nice.
Thank you, Mr. Teacher.
The amount of money spent per student has little effect on achievement? Really? I don't know, Duckman. I'd love to see that study. I really would. Well, the Lexington probably figures you're the only person he can really strike. The Buffalo and Yamato are clustered. Oh, he could strike the Oland, I suppose. Chicago isn't in a desert, it's on a huge lake. How is air conditioning essential to a school in Chicago? Well, Coughlin, quite frankly, it gets warm in the city in the summertime. I mean, there have been days when they've actually had to cancel school because of the heat. When it gets up into the 90s, it gets unbearably hot.
Isn't it like Chicago the place where you guys get one of the highest humidexes in the country besides Florida?
We get very high humidity. Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Not as bad as Florida per se, but the difference is in Florida at least, you get convection, right, which causes rain, which cools down the area. We don't get that in Chicago. We just get heat, and it's soul-crushing heat.
Well, you guys are just sitting on Lake Michigan, but you're sitting on the wrong side of Lake Michigan to get its effects. Until, of course, winter, when for some reason you guys get one of the most amount of lake effect snow in the area.
Yeah, War understands all too well from Rockford. You get this. You know, the prevailing winds go from west to east, so the winds off the lake help Indiana and Michigan. They don't really help Chicago. And actually, I live in the snowiest town of Illinois. Yeah, figure that one out.
Yeah.
Scholarships are another matter. Promoting individual students that show promise should be well worth it. I agree, and that's kind of what this whole Urban Arts Partnership is all about. Sorry, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Look at you, like, look at us. You and me are just literally talking about weather and stuff, and then there's just a bit of an event going on behind, and I completely didn't mean to pull away
Seriously,
from
your
the...
stream, Zath, you're talking about the weather.
So?
Yeah.
I'm talking about the weather in the context of what our kids have in Chicago versus what they don't have in Chicago, you know? Like,
There
so,
we go, okay.
So, for example...
You know we're teasing you, Zath, right?
I know, but,
Yeah, we
but
are.
you know this is something really important to me, right? Like...
We do, that's why we're here.
Like... Oh, Lexington's dead. You know, like, for example, you know, I have the luxury of taking my kids outside, right? I was told to take the kids outside to give them the ability to take their masks off and be kids again. And I take them out. And in the process of taking them outside, there are some kids that, when it was like 98, like 93 degrees out, with heat indices pushing 100 degrees, there were some kids that said, "Hey, can I go inside and work?" And, you know, they could go inside and work because we've got air conditioning. I mean, like, you know, so that's what I'm getting at. It's just it's crazy. You gonna die here? Lol, you didn't die. Lemming says, one of my uncles lived in Calumet City. My oldest aunt lived in Hammond, Indiana. When you visited them, you're amazed how damn hot it was. Yeah, it's ridiculously hot.
Now, there's another thing that Chicago's well known for, is like the city itself, which is high winds, both during the winter months where, you know, you have ice over the lakes.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it must have like an effect on, including like students trying to get to school. Say if ever they can't get on the bus, or they just cannot, it affects them in the sense of their ability to go to school.
I mean, can you work? Can you realistically work? Like, be productive work when it's when you're literally just sitting and sweating nonstop?
Oh no.
I mean,
Oh no.
no, you can't. You can't focus. You can't get anything done.
And when you're, let's talk about the winter months as well, like, including when some people are trying to get to school and then they make it to school. Some of the times, as I've heard in some studies, it takes a really long time for the body to warm up and to a comfortable level, so then your focus can return. It's kind of like, that's also kind of the issue as well, is the cold affects your concentration as well. Like, say if ever you have to bike or walk to school off of a long distance.
Right. Now, Soul Red, yes, you can. That is true. For people, yes, this is a Corsair. Good eye. This is an F4U Corsair. You can tell because of the gull wing. Funny story about the Corsair. Look how far back that cockpit is. Because the cockpit was so far back, it was designed to be at the center of gravity so that it would be very easy for pilots to pull high G maneuvers without, like, blacking out. The problem is, because the pilot's view was so obstructed, because let me go to the pilot's view for a second here. You get an idea here of their view. When it came to landing on aircraft carriers, they couldn't land straight in on them. They actually had to do a full turn and then flatten out at the last second and land on carriers. It was very dangerous to land these planes on carriers. As a result, most of the F4Us ended up going into the hands of the U.S. Marines, and they were stationed in bases like Guadalcanal, where, you know, you had a nice long runway, as opposed to a moving deck like an aircraft carrier. Yeah, the instant eliminator is exactly right. Because if you were inexperienced in any aircraft, this thing would destroy you. It had ridiculous power to weight ratio because of the engine, and the size of the propeller is just huge.
Wasn't it also well known for prop striking on the carriers as well?
Yes, because if it went straight like that, the propeller actually hit the deck. And yes, the Lexington was sunk before the Corsair was introduced. However, the Lexington class's sister ship, the Saratoga, was not sunk, and I believe she actually did carry F4U Corsairs at some point before upgrading to Hellcats. Yes, exactly. They couldn't see it past the nose.
Yeah, that was also the same thing for the what is it? The Blackburn Firebrand
Oh
as
yeah?
well. It just had such a big nose, and when it came into land, and they grabbed the arrestor hook, the
Yep.
plane would jolt forward, and the prop would get whacked because of this. Almost every single time that the plane landed, they had to replace the propeller.
Mm-hmm. And yes, World War II pilots definitely had balls of steel. And yes, the Hellcat, so
Oh yeah.
the problem with the Hellcat is it had very stubby wings. And it had stubby wings to help with, storing on an aircraft carrier and that sort of thing. But it meant that aerodynamic-wise, aside from being able to go forward fast and being relatively tanky, it struggled a lot. Well, you've won the battle, 215,000 damage. Not bad at all. 5 minutes to go, guys, until we get to our next stream raiders. By all means, drop your units. Remember, whoever gets the most kills here wins a special skin. So you absolutely want to make sure that you are trying to kill as many people as possible. Bring out your very best units, ladies and gentlemen. Current giveaway, 2CC, 2 super container codes. Because Dr. Drunk has lost his mind. Over 1,000 so far. There will be 4 winners. Was it a Geno's Nice? No, it was not DeLupus. Because of the internet outage, I talked to the wife. I said, you know what? Let's just make burgers tonight. It's a little bit more involved, but it's relatively quicker, so we can get that out of the way. And we're going to do pizza probably tomorrow night as a result. Sith Kitten placing Epic Sasha Rogue on the battlefield. Nice. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to pull up the next replay. This is one of Dr. Drunk's replays in the Petropavlovsk. Did I make a royale with cheese? Yes, essentially I did. With tomato and bacon and 2 kinds of cheeses, provolone and cheddar. So good. Alright, Dr. Drunk, I'm going to go get the thing for you. I will be right back.
I'll be right back.
Tyler, GM